Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 23 of Follow a Sketch February, which is through Scrapping Reflections on Facebook, or you can also see the sketches on State Goddess's YouTube. She's doing a daily video. She is the one who started it and I'm just following her along. So today's is a 1-page layout and it is meant for an 8.5 by 11, but I am scrapbooking a beach layout and all of those are in a 12 by 12 book. So I will be stretching this out a little bit, although I'm not going to change much in the aspect of the ratios with the pictures and the concept of the layers, I think. So that's the plan. In my head, the quick plan that I have in my head is something very similar to this. So this is a sketch. There is nothing on here that tells me who this is by. So as of now, I don't know. Here I've got some, I mostly am pulling from my scraps. And I have, this is one of the last, if not the last, papers. I think this is a recollections book and it was like a beach theme, had tons and tons of papers in it, and I've used almost all of them because I've created over 100 layouts, probably closer to 200 layouts for my family goes to the beach every year, and we've been 10 years in a row up until COVID, and so I have scrapbooked a lot of beach layouts. So I think I'm going to use this as my base page to work from, and then just put the layers on top of this so it has the beach theme in the background. And then I pulled my scraps that I might use, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use. There's a couple of layers, but they're wider than these, so I may or may not use them, but I would like to try if they will work. And this is from the same paper pad as this is, and so is this, although all it is some water, and maybe this one too. So I'm going to use as much of that up as I can, and then this is going to be one of the layers as well. And that is because, well, we take tons and tons of pictures at the beach, but these are actually pictures in my sister's dining room, planning our trip to the beach. And this is my family. We all get together and plan what we're bringing and who's bringing what, and plan our meals and things like that, at least lightly plan, so we can take things with us that we need. So these are the pictures. I thought these would be perfect because I had printed these smaller and then printed this one as a normal 4x6. And so this picture, all of us have our cameras, and we're taking a picture of my Neff pup who got up on the table and started typing on our list. So it was funny. So we all started taking pictures of him, and my mom and my daughter, who took this picture, are over here and took pictures of us taking pictures, which is why I'm using the camera paper. So there is a matching layout for this. It's not completed. I've started it with the same concept of one large photo and two smaller photos, but they face a different direction. So I just kind of turned the pictures. I didn't turn the layout. So I have the half and half pretty much with some torn paper and a border and a little something here. So I have that same concept, except I turned the pictures, and I'm possibly going to add some more layers and some embellishments as I go, but I wanted to get it started. So I've fussy cut one of the cameras from this paper. This is the sandpaper. This is from that same paper pad. So and the colors and everything will match. This and this came from the same paper, cut apart from American Crafts, as did this, and the title for my next page is Crazy Fun, and this came from there, so it's got the same polka dots. And so I wanted to bring in some of that. These are some stickers. I couldn't tell you who they're from. I was going to say the package, but I can't. It doesn't have the name on it. So I used some stickers from that sticker sheet that are very similar to these colors. And so I'm going to pull a few of those from my stash as well. I was turning around to see if they were nearby. And then the other thing is on here where it has this little journaling bit. If it'll fit there. If not, I'm going to put it up towards the top. I have these Project Life journal pages, and I know that they were intended for a journal book, but I've been cutting them and using them. And if I can find one in here, if not, I will pull a Project Life card that I have that has journal lines. But I kind of wanted a to-do list or a checklist or something like that, because that is what we are doing. We are creating a checklist for the things we need to pack. So I'm going to pull concepts from this layout. I want the pages to match or coordinate, even though it's not a double layout. It is going to be facing in the book because they are the two sets of pictures from this planning. So this is all I have pulled out right now, except for the stickers that are buried somewhere. I just got out of a card making class, and so I have moved everything around. But I did organize my beach box. I should have brought it over here to show you all, because you would be so proud. The last time I pulled my beach box out, it was a hot mess. So I organized it all, and it looks much more I don't even know. It's much more organized because I organized it, right? Good gracious. I can't even blame the fact that it's late. It's like 6:30 in the afternoon. So I've got some pictures. I've got some scraps that I want to get used up, and I have a sketch. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my picture is going to fit on the part of this camera paper I want to use. And the top portion that's 12 inches is too thin, is not deep enough. So I'm going to use that next portion down, and it is deep enough. It's only about 10.5 inches, so I am going to make that work. But I tear the top because that is how it is in the sketch, and I like that. I am really into the whole torn paper right now. And so then I get out my Project Life journaling pages, and I find which one I want to use for the journaling over on the side. And I like this one that says remember, because, you know, it could be remember anything, whether it's the stuff that you're taking to the beach or remember the old times and all the fun we've had in the past. So I pull that one out and make sure it's going to fit in that space with the picture. And then I decide that I don't like this huge gap between the camera paper and the outside of this background paper. So I get this periwinkle textured paper from Michael's, and I cut it down to 11 by 11. So it gives a 1/2 inch all the way around so that you can still see the ocean background paper. And I'm very happy with the way that looks. So I get that tacked down with my new Scotch square dispenser. I'm not a fan. I will use up what's in there, but I'm already ordered myself a Scotch adhesive tape runner because I don't like not knowing where the squares are going to come out, and it was fighting me, and it might be user error. It's very possibly user error. So, you know, it's okay. I got it on sale at Michael's, and like I said, I will use the adhesive that is in it, but then I will start using my new one when it comes in from Amazon, hopefully this week. So I put down this strip, and it matches the one on the other layout I shared, except the other one is just hearts, but it's in the same color patterns, and so it will flow well with the page that is going to be facing it. So I get this picture laid down, and I want to make sure I'm going to have the space for my journaling space, the journaling card. And so I mat this picture on this sandy paper, and I love using scraps. Y'all don't know how happy it makes me when I can get scraps used up. And I used 3 full scraps and a big piece of that camera scrap. So that makes me very happy. Both those pieces of paper over there to the right side are going to get used completely, as well as almost all of this sandy paper that I'm matting this picture on right now. So that top portion right there has like a shiny, glittery, almost like sugar, or, like it's bumpy. And so I had to put glue. I used my Nuvo Deluxe glue on there instead of the tape. And then I wanted it to stand out a little, so I took my Distress Oxide in Black Soot by Ranger and put that on the outside of it. You can barely tell. I mean, it helps it stand out in the white spaces, but I like the way that look. I love the look on a lot of things to ink the edges. So I put my picture down so that the full word remember is showing, and it is matted to where there's about the same amount of paper on the other side. So here's one of the scraps that I had, and it has water on it. I've decided to build my own paper up here at the top because I did not have a paper in my scraps that was big enough to cover that top portion. So I made my own. So I got this one scrap about 1.5 inches of the ocean, and that fully used up that scrap. And I put that down, and then I have this other paper that has sand on one side and the sky on the other. And so I cut about 3/4 of an inch of the sandy part, and I laid that down. And then the rest of it, which is the back side of the sand, is this cloud paper, and I overlay that a little on the sand so that it gives me a smidge of a border at the top. And it's not much. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe. But I love the way that it looks. It's like I've built my own little beach right there. And the pictures are going to cover up a big portion of that. And my title is going to cover up some of that. But that's okay. It's still, you can still see when the layout is done what I've done there. So I cut my 2 little small pictures, and I love making pictures this way. I sometimes will print so many pictures, and if I were to have them all be 4x6s, I don't know how many layouts I would have. I have 6 books from 2021 documenting our year. If I had made them all big, I don't know what I would do. They'd have a dozen books. So, yes, I know it's excessive. I'm trying to limit myself to 2 books this year. We'll see how that goes. So, I am done putting these on, matting them. And it actually was 2 different pieces of paper, even though it looked the same. One of them is the beach, and one is just sand. But you can't really tell anyway. It's just a very thin mat. And I fiddle around with these for a little while and get them laid down to where I'm happy. And I was going to have that one of my mom raising her hand on the left because it's the first thing that happened. That was her getting everyone's attention to get started. But would have been looking off the page. So now it almost looks like she's looking at me and my aunt who are being mischievous. And so it feels like she's like, hello over there. So I really like the way that it looks. So I get this title part down, and I've decided I'm going to put it here. And I know that it covers most of the sand, but I'm okay with that. So I get that down. And then I am trying to decide what else I want to do. So I need to add some stickers. And these are the stickers that I used on the other layout as well. And I don't want to use the seashell, and I don't want to use the fish because we're not at the beach. I want to use some things that, that you would take with you maybe. So I use the pail and the, in a minute I'm going to get the umbrella as well. And those are things that you might have on your list of things to take with you, which is what we were doing in this picture we were trying to discuss all of the details of what we needed to pack and bring and who was bringing what and all of that when we were leaving, all that kind of stuff. So we every year we would always get together and have a beach meeting to discuss these things. My father always started all of this. And so now my mom is trying to rein everybody in, and my sister takes control. So I just sit back and giggle and usually am the troublemaker. So if you couldn't tell, I mean, Lord have mercy, my hair is greenish blue in these pictures. So I dyed my hair a couple weeks ago, and so crazy. Just a little wild and stuff. Don't mind me. So I did journal. All I really wrote on the journal, though, is some things, just numbered the page, put the date on there and everything. And then I get my Paper Studio gemstones I just bought today. And I put those down on the page in 3 different places and in the 3 cluster rule. I don't always do the little triangles. If I'm working in a corner, like right there by the picture and that long border, I do, but sometimes when I'm going down a picture, I like doing the 3 in a row like I'm doing here next to the word remember. And I almost pulled a purple gemstone, but there's not any purple on this layout, so other than my mother's shirt. So I went with the blues, the pinks, and the green. And there's a couple shades of pink, so I would just kind of went with all of that. And I love these gemstones, and right now they're on sale at Hobby Lobby. I think they're $3.99 or something. Oh no, they were $7.99, so they're $4, but you get 400 and some odd gemstones. I was looking at the package, sorry. Anyway, so it's a lot cheaper than buying them other places. So there is the sketch, and I'm going to show you some close-ups. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!